Hey everyone, hi. How's it been? I wanted to talk a little bit about betrayal. Today, the betrayal can be of various forms to various capacities depending on how important the person is in your life. And well, how to cope with your trust getting broken by someone who probably meant a lot to you. For me, it was my parents. For most of us, it's usually our partners, spouses, or ex partners, ex spouses, current partners, current spouses. It's usually them. Um, but yeah, the residue that remains later on, the feeling of okay, I can tell you what I felt when I realized how, what, or how I am the most unfit child for my parents, whatever. How I realized that. Well, when I realized that, how I felt shocked. I was dealing with the shock of it all first. That they could do something like that or whatever it was. That it's happening to me. Me, out of all. Am I that unlucky? That shock. Secondly, acceptance of the situation was, for me, it was very difficult. Very, very difficult. It took me weeks, I think, to even accept that something like that has happened. Third, for me, it was fear. For someone else or some other situation, it could have been anger or, but for me, majorly it was fear. Anger came in later on, later. And anger actually was the motivator that kept me going. If I hadn't gotten angry and I would have given up, I would have been probably stuck in that phase or probably, I don't know, given up, starved myself to death, killed myself somehow. If I didn't have the guts to directly kill myself, like commit whatever. If that was the case, either ways, none of that happened, and I never had those feelings. Never even I was. Well, I was at some point, but never acted on it, and I'm glad I did not. It's fine. I don't mind disclosing something like that because whatever. There's a reason it's called existential crisis. Heavy topics, heavy hearted topics. Yeah. So yes, anger was for me it worked out. Like for some people, it's fear that gets them going. No, I have to get out of the situation. For some, it's I don't know. For me, it's anger. Along with there are many other motivators too, not just anger. Um, I can, well, the other feelings that I felt were, yeah, it was all culminated into anxiety. But yeah, sadness, upset, that came. I didn't even realize. I think I feel sad now rather than that time, because that time it was all adrenaline, pumping in and something like this happening, brain going into survivor mode, and it was very weird. A very, very weird experience. Anyways, also there's a thing called, I think we know this in the industry, quiet quitting. The term quiet quitting. We usually do that at work when you don't want to continue working. You just do the average, whatever is required. You just do that and nothing more, nothing less. That or you're not as involved in your work as you used to be. That's quiet quitting, right? uh, the same way I don't know if there's a term coined for life as well, but there is a term called quiet quitting in terms of life as well. When we stop living the way we used to, we stop doing things that would make us happy. We stopped, what else that would keep us healthy. Forget about having healthy food or going on a diet, just eating. uh, I don't know what it was, but at some point I had started starving myself. Even though I had money, I could buy food, I could make food, I could get it from somewhere else, but I was starving myself. Not under the name of weight loss or anything at all. Nothing. Just that I don't feel hungry. And after a while, when I did want to start eating and get healthy again, I would puke things out. Well, this did happen when just after the incident with whatever happened with my family. Uh, I was like, no, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna start eating. I'm gonna start taking care of myself and see. This time I live for myself, not for anyone else. Um, and try and see how it works out was what I thought and got me motivated. I started eating, and if I would eat over a certain limit, like if I could eat one chapati, I could eat two chapati earlier in one go, and along with that, obviously some gravy or some sabzi or something. Um, yeah, and yeah, that was my used to be my lunch during that time, lunch or dinner or whatever meals. So I had gone down to one. If I ate more than one chapati during that time, I would puke it out, or I'd get diarrhea or something, and it wouldn't what do you call it? How um, it didn't the nutrients didn't get into my body or whatever it was. But it's like body ko lagta nahi hai. I don't know how do I translate that to English. It's like the food that you eat did not, you didn't get the nutrition out of it or whatever. You didn't even digest it properly to get the nutritions basically. So that started happening, and that scared the crap out of me, because I have seen people when they want to give up, and I have tried to make sure that if there's a way out, I try to give them a way out. And I was in that bucket this time, and I'm telling you, it was weird for me. Very, very weird. Literally, what I don't know how else to describe. The other thing, the other thing that we don't realize, or I realized that later. Since for me, it was my parents who betrayed me and betrayed my trust. Um, but well, in that scenario, what happened was, uh, how do I explain it? I literally lost trust from everyone and everything. Literally. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not even using the word literally as a filler. Literally felt that I couldn't trust anyone, anything, myself, my own judgment. Also, there was a weird helplessness. A helplessness that wouldn't let me help myself, take care of myself, feed myself, take myself to the doctor, or make a call to the crisis line, whatever. I could not physically do it, even though my brain was screaming, do it right now. You need help. Call the crisis line. Call someone, call your friend, and I couldn't do it. It was very weird. And to get out of that, it took a lot of courage, or else it took a lot of fear, to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to a horrible state where I'd have to go back to A&E again. That's when I'd start either calling my friends or anyone that I knew who could talk to me or talk me out of it or calm me down. If nothing, then crisis line, whatever. It was a learning curve. That was also a learning curve. My God, asking help from the right people at the right time is an art you need to learn. It should be a separate course in our schools and colleges and universities, I swear. It's very difficult, especially when you are in a crisis yourself. It's even more difficult. And kudos to those people who answered my phone calls and calmed me down, and thank you to them too. But yeah, so during that time, that helpless feeling was, I I don't know. They say depression is a feeling. It's like it's a wave that drowns you, and you keep drowning in it. I don't know what. I think it was that. I'm not sure, but I felt helpless. Like I couldn't do anything, even though there were resources available. My brain wouldn't go in that direction to think to help myself, and even if it did, my brain itself would say something or overthink it and then make it a wrong option for me, and then I'd go into a spiral of other options, and I'd just waste time, lot of time. So yeah, I think that happened, and it was literally at to some point it was because I was physically also unwell. I was like starving. My body was malnourished. I was down to I think my bone weight, 39 kgs. Because I think that's my bone weight. I've not gone below 39. Just once for a bit, and then after that, I was back up, and yeah, I was constant at 39. So I'm hoping I'm like considering that's my bone weight, but I had gone down to that. I could not walk, like walking on the road or even in the house, it was difficult. So I had to face those kind of things. Along with that, what was going on emotionally and what the betrayal that I had faced, everything coming together. I, it was like, I was like, I didn't think I would be able to see this birthday that I saw last month. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I don't know. I know from where and how I got the strength. People around me. And even when they were not around me, phone calls, messages, texts, video calls, gosh, thank you for that. Got me out of it. And the helpless feeling. Uh, it stays sometimes, and then when I get anxious again, it pops up. But this time, I think I've learned to manage it or manage my response to it. Yeah, that's a better way of phrasing it. So, yeah, but it comes back again, pops up, scares the crap out of you. And then you just have to be a little bit patient till then and work on your options and see what comes back. But yeah, one way to get away from the helpless feeling is I've done this, I've been doing this for ages. Walking, get yourself moving. Get yourself moving. Go out for a walk. That's what our elders used to say. All the health people, everyone in the health industry says that to us for a big reason. At least when you feel helpless and your body is moving, you're going in some direction, you're walking, even if it's for no reason, it it gives an illusion, to your brain that okay, there's something happening. We're not just sitting and feeling helpless. So yeah, that I think, if nothing that, for that, go out for a walk. Obviously we have our other addictions. If you want to go to, we go for a smoke or go for drinks or go have sex with someone. There are people who are addicted to or use sex as a coping mechanism to get over their insecurities. So yeah, that happens. It's not a big deal. Everyone deals with them, everyone gets over them. So many don't, but they still live. So yeah, no judgment. But mm, so I guess that's how existential crisis was for me. It went on for a long time. I don't know if I dragged it or it was dragged or it was needed or I took so much time to get all of this out or actually sort out what was going on and then be able to get it out and discuss this. I think, yeah, the last one. So yeah, that's how it was. I'm not saying you guys should share your experiences as well, but if you want to vent it out, it's a good way to do it. Talk about it, what has happened, and not to anyone, people you trust who will not, because the biggest thing we have is what if someone ridicules it, what if someone diminishes it, makes it so small and insignificant that they make you question yourself, is this decision worth the issue? And if you are thinking of something like this, then somewhere or the other, some boundary, some line was crossed which you did not like. And if it's a deal breaker for you, let it be any relationship, get out of it, man. Very, very sad view of it, but if you've tried to work it out, if you've tried everything to your best ability that you know of, and there's still no change from the other side, you're still hurt, you're still upset, then there's no point wasting more emotions, more time, more energy. I guess that is one thing that I had to accept, and I had accepted it ages ago. It was just, it took me so much time to get over that shock, to process that shock. It took ages for me, I guess. And it happened in small, small stages. It's still happening, I guess. But it's gonna take a lot of time. 34 years. 35 now. 35 years. Of whatever it was. Well, so much of it is processed, so much of it is forgotten. A lot of it is forgiven. Well, all of it is forgiven. I don't have any grudges or any ill feelings. Well, other than hatred, no. Hatred is a very bad feeling, yes, but I'm still stuck on that. I want to get to not feeling anything. I know how to get to that. I have to feel pity first. And after a while, I'll stop caring. So that's how it worked for me last time. In a different relationship. So this time, hopefully, I'm trying to get to that stage, but it's very difficult to pity someone who consciously ruined their own so-called love of their life, their daughter's life, dreams, ambition, emotions, life partner choices, my god, to the point where I would not be able to exist without them. This much of control. Because if I am to a point where without them I'm not able to help myself or call for help for myself, that's a lot of control. Literally, that's, I can see my own face and I'm like, yeah, what face am I making? But I guess And there's so much responsibility too. I mean, like, I get it, people like control and all of that, but with control comes responsibility. It does. And not just with great power comes whatever. No, 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 not just that. With control also comes responsibility. Because if you're controlling someone's actions, someone's emotions, someone's thought process, when or if it blows up, you know they're gonna come to you, right? And one day your pot of lies is gonna burst, spill over if nothing. So yeah, why so much of control? My gosh, it's literally learn to let go, man. Let go of your helmets, learn to let go. I was just watching Iron Man again. Yeah. So I know, longer video after a long time, but I didn't know what else to talk about. I was literally speechless for a long time. I guess it's good that I was. I thought a lot, I listened a lot, I learned a lot, and hopefully I come down to the stage of pity and then finally nothing to do with them. No grudges, no emotions, no happiness, no sadness, no feelings. I want to get to that. One day at a time. I used to say that a lot. I had stopped saying it. But it did work for me, at least for a bit. So, yeah, one day at a time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. It's very chilly here. Very, very chilly. It's cloudy too. If you can see the clouds. Very cloudy, very chilly. And I want to sleep in, but it's a lazy, lazy Sunday and I'm up now. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll go for a breakfast. Have fun and take care. Learn to let go and try to live in the now.